Hey guys, it's your host Elex, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mental Mixology. So, you guys know me as, Alex, the podcast host, Alex, the founder of Mental Mixology, but I'm also Alex, the lead recruiter at a staffing agency. I'm also Alex, a CPT and fitness instructor. I'm also Alex, a daughter, Alex, a big sister, Alex, a friend, Alex, a granddaughter, a niece, a best friend, a gym crush, maybe, if I'm lucky. The point is, I fill a lot of different roles in this life. And with that comes with my brain never shutting off. Ever, 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 ever. A few weeks ago, at the end of my day, I go to work, I go to the gym. After I'm done with the gym, I'll go walk my dog, we shower, we make dinner. And then as I eat my dinner, I watch TV and I chill. I realize my brain does not stop a few weeks ago when I was chilling, eating dinner. And as I'm trying to watch one of my favorite shows, I can't concentrate on it because my brain won't shut up. And I didn't know what to do in the moment. I'm like, I want to enjoy the show, but I keep thinking about all this stuff. It was like podcast stuff too. It wasn't even things that were important. It was just ideas for the podcast. And that's why it can be so hard just to navigate on a daily basis. And I know I'm not the only person that struggles with this, but when you have 47 tabs going on in your head, or you're leaving for the gym, you're on the phone, but you're looking for your phone and you don't realize it. So you've spent 5 minutes just scavenging the house and you're like, oh, I'm looking for my phone, but I'm talking on the phone. Anybody, if anything I just said correlates with you or you felt that to your core, you're not alone. And I hate that a lot of us feel that we have to earn a nap or for us to truly get rest in life or to be able to relax. We have to go take some beach vacation in order to do it. But today we're going to talk about how simply just taking a 5-minute micro break can keep your brain from glitching. And it can be so hard to wrap your head around. And this has been something I have been really trying to instill on myself. So I'm going to start this episode saying I am not an expert. I am not a mental health professional. I am someone who struggles with shutting my brain off. I have done research into taking micro breaks. I have worked on taking micro breaks and I have seen how it has helped. Pete, my mood patches, these also help throughout the day with high stress and the brain not shutting off. The mood patches, well, I'm plugging Kind patches right now. Kind patches. They have these mood patches that work wonders. Just gonna say, since we're talking about a reset or a break, these patches help with that. Especially, like I said, the Mood Plus, highly recommend. But getting back to what we were talking about today, I am someone that has a hard time taking a break. I have a hard time saying no. I constantly want to be evolving and growing, and I'm one of those people that even just sitting down and relaxing, I have a hard time with because while I'm relaxing, my brain's like, well, while you're sitting here on your ass, you could be folding laundry. You could be putting an outline together for the next podcast episode. You could be finding a guy for an open position you have at work. Am I the only one? No, it's normal. I mean, is it fun that your brain always works that way? No. It's not. It's exhausting, especially when you are a high performing person. You're busy, you're achieving, you're getting things done, you're being productive. Sometimes you're like, can I just get a break? And you deserve a break because if you didn't already know this, our bodies are not meant to be in a constant state of stress. We shouldn't always be in fight or flight. And a lot of us are just because our day to day demands it. Whether you have a lot going on in your career that makes it that way, whether you're a parent and it makes it that way, whether, I I mean, heck, your friend, there are so many situations that can totally take control of your life. It can totally heighten your levels of stress throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. PTSD can affect this. You can go through a traumatic life event that just heightens your stress levels. So much can control it, but today we are going to talk about one, it's okay that you have not been able to find or figure out how to take this break. It's okay that you never can get your mind shut off. It's okay that you are just constantly running, 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 and you feel guilty for taking a second to sit down. It's okay because you are not the only one dealing with this. You're not going crazy. I promise you. It feels like you are sometimes, but you're not. And I want to say, most importantly, you are not lazy for taking a break. And it feels the L word. It feels so easy to put yourself in the box of laziness when you finally take that break or you take a little time for yourself. But today you are going to realize that it is essential for your overall well being. And all you need is 5 minutes, okay? So we're going to go into the science because the science is always the part that ties this together to truly understand why these topics work and why they can truly help us. Now, to talk about the prefrontal cortex, because that is something that we do talk about a lot. If you have not listened to prior episodes, the prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain which is the logic center. And that's what operates your focus, is your prefrontal cortex. Now, let's be real here. If you work from 8 to 5, your focus is not going to be laser jet set from 8 to 5, especially 5 days a week. That is impossible. If you are the person who can do that without taking anything, you're superhuman. So, with me saying that, you cannot work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, 5 days a week with no mental break. I know some of you might not get a lunch break, might not get a break in between, but give yourself the 5 minutes if that's really the type of setting that you are in, because your prefrontal cortex is getting fatigued. And if you don't give it time to recharge, you're never going to gain that focus once it's lost. So if you are trying to focus and maybe Monday you worked 8 to 5 and you were just hammering everything right on the head, well, come Tuesday, you're going to work from like 8 to 12 with good focus, but then come 12 o'clock, afternoon is going to be hard. You are going to be scraping by. I promise you, it's not going to last. So that is the importance of the 5 minute break, is you need to be able to reset your brain so you can regain the focus that you had. Then to piggyback off of that, there was research done by the University of Illinois, and it shows that even brief diversions from a task can dramatically improve your focus on the task for long periods of time. So, like I said, piggybacking off of the prefrontal cortex, scientifically proven right there by the University of Illinois that if you take a 5 minute break, you're not going to lose momentum. And I know that's what a lot of us think. I've been there. I work through, that is my worst trait. The worst thing I can do for my body, and I always pay for it at the gym later, is when I try to work through my lunch break. Because working through my lunch break, one, like I said, you get to a certain part in the afternoon and you're starting to drag a little bit because your prefrontal cortex cannot be in this laser focus for that long. But not even that is, if I work through lunch, I'm normally skipping my lunch break and then I'm not fueling my body. So then that also kind of feeds into just the afternoon, like that you feel like 2, 3 o'clock and you're like, oh my gosh, 5 o'clock, please come. Take a break. Right there, science backed. And I know it is really hard because at lunch, I'll be in the groove of things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so much done. I'm being so productive. But I always tell myself, it's not going to last that long if we do not take 5 minutes at least. So even if you have to schedule it, write it on your schedule, write it on your calendar, write it 12 every day. We're going to take 5 minutes. We're going to step outside just to breathe. And then we'll go back in and we'll keep working on things. What I tell myself is when 12 o'clock hits, it's like, okay, we need to eat something. That's our break. We're going to eat something. We'll go outside. I'll let my dog out. Take a break. We'll come back to it. It's going to be right here where we left it. And I think part of the reason why I work in this fight or flight mindset a lot of just like, we always have to get everything done. We always have to be just super on top of everything. We have to be high achieving. We have to get everything knocked out is, one, I'm very competitive, just kind of the person I am. I hate not being the best at what I do. And I feel like I constantly have to be working and doing something to always be at the top of my game. So it is kind of a mental thing I am trying to get over. But I also work in an industry where my Monday can start and I have my to-do list and it's not super crazy. And then something that I can't control happens and then my whole day is derailed and now I'm balls to the walls working on 5 million things and I haven't even gotten to my to-do list. And it can be daunting, but you have to realize that you are only human. There's only 24 hours in the day. In those 24 hours in the day, you need to eat at least preferably 3 meals. You need to get at least preferably 7 to 8 hours of sleep. But you also need a time to breathe and pause. And I constantly tell myself I cannot be the best recruiter, mental health nonprofit founder, daughter, sister, friend. I cannot be the best that I want to be if I don't take that 5 minutes. And it takes a lot of teaching yourself. It takes a lot of habit of getting just in the groove of doing this. But the more you do it, I assure you, you will start seeing a positive result. Whenever I am just on edge, my day has just been nonstop. I haven't had a second to myself. When I go home, this is why it's kind of a blessing that I live by myself, but if I go see my family, I am very irritable. My family can try to have a conversation with me in one wrong word, snap, explode. And are they my issue? No. My day being so jam-packed and not having a second to breathe, that is my issue. I'm in fight and flight, and so one wrong word makes me just shrivel. And you have to realize that a lot of you might be dealing with this irritability, or it might be affecting people in your life, and you're like, I'm not an angry person. I'm not bipolar. No, you're not. I mean, you could be dealing with that, but a majority of the time, you are not giving your nervous system a chance to just reset, to cool down, to take a deep breath. So, to talk more science and more facts, just so you guys realize how important this 5-minute break is, when we don't take a break, our cortisol levels, which is our stress hormones, will build up. A 5-minute rest acts like a chemical drain, letting the cortisol levels dip so we don't end up in a chaos state. So, like I just said, you're not yelling at your kids because they asked, "What's for dinner?" And that was just the last straw. And you're like, my mom's done it to me before. I know a lot of our moms probably have done it before. Like, we are all guilty of doing this because all of us as humans deal with stress. All of us have been in that moment where the stress is so high that literally it just takes a little poke and it ruins your whole day. Everything comes crashing down. So give yourself that cortisol break. Let it dip. Let yourself relax, because it could be what makes your evening with your friends or family a lot more enjoyable. Because I tell you what, and that's where my family, especially owning a family business or having a family business, we can tell when one of us is high strung. And this is the good thing, is when we can tell, we will straight up go tell one of our family members, like, go take a minute. I'll tell my sister so many times. She'll be so hyped up. She gets this little rash around her neck when she's like really stressed out and just about to blow. I'll be like, hey, go outside. Go take a deep breath. Like, breathe. Do something. Just give me your phone. Go. You need to be that person for yourself. And if you need to do it for other people, I'm not kidding. I can tell when the people I love are very high strung. And you may even have to be that voice of reason of, hey, go take a minute. Go take 5 minutes, actually. The hard thing about taking a break is, if you're like me, it's like, okay, what can I do in this break that will actually benefit me? Because when your mind doesn't shut off, I mean, there's really not much you can do to help bring that sense of rest and of calm. So here are some do's and don'ts when you are taking your 5-minute break, okay? We do not want to be on the phone. This is a no phone zone. You know, scrolling TikTok, this is honestly an information overload. It's not rest. We disguise scrolling as rest, but the amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? The amount of stimulation that you are getting from scrolling and being on social media, that is not a rest. It's too much. So your 5-minute break does not include your phone. Part of our do's and don'ts is no phone. We're not messing with it. One of the do's is moving your body. For me, I think dancing, singing, that's kind of my favorite thing to do. Like when I'm in the office, especially, and I'll go take a break or I'll go do something for lunch because I'll just be like, we need to get out of the office. We need to take a second. Because I'm a big music person. Drive around, I'll listen to music, I'll sing to some music, I dance in the car. People probably drive by me all the time and they're like, what is this girl doing? Because I am always singing and dancing in my car. I just love listening to music. I have my favorite artists, my favorite songs, and it truly just helps my mood singing and dancing. And there is so much science behind moving your body and helping your mental health get your dopamine levels going, okay? We really underestimate how much movement can affect us. So in your 5 minutes, dance in a bathroom, dance in your car, dance anywhere you'd like. Go on a walk. You could even go on like the heck, do some sprints in the parking lot. You can really I would say walking and dancing are two big ones that are very helpful and very easy to do almost anywhere you are. Another thing you could do is window watching. Looking out a window can be very peaceful. There's actually some more research to back this up, but the University of Melbourne did a study and actually found out that 40 seconds of looking out the window can boost your productivity by 6%. How random is that? Who knew looking out the window could truly affect your productivity? I mean, if that's the case, maybe put your desk by a window and just, if you can, look out the window all day or just be right by one. So if you're in a very stressful work environment, when you need that 5 minutes or just 40 seconds, you can just become one with nature outside. But really the importance of looking out the window is just, I don't want to say distracting your mind, but putting your focus on something that doesn't require you to think or feel or do something. You can just look outside and breathe. Think to yourself that you're thankful for the day. You're thankful that you're healthy. Maybe it's raining outside and you're like, dang, like the sound of the rain's really peaceful. Or it's a sunny and beautiful day and you're looking at the trees or watching the wind blow. Take the 5 minutes. I hate saying like touch grass, but take the 5 minutes to like stop and smell the roses because we can get so caught up in our lives that we forget to just enjoy the world around us, the simple things, what God has put in this world for us to enjoy. And that is what I do a lot when I take the 5-minute breaks is I work from home. I'll go sit outside and just kind of be one with everything around me. Look at everything, embrace everything. Because if you think about it, not to get so like philosophical or I don't know the correct word, but there was a day where we didn't have technology. We didn't have all of this stuff around us, and it was really just the simple things in life, the grass, the trees, the water, the wind, the elements. And it's nice to kind of get back in touch with that to allow you to get back into the reality of your life. I think that's why I like Disney World so much. Why I truly believe I'm a Disney adult is because going to Disney World allows you to escape reality. Everything's still there. Everything's still going to exist when I come back, but it lets you escape reality, enjoy, you know, life as I remembered it as a kid for Disney. But when you're looking out into nature, looking out the window, you're thinking back on other times, on simple times, not focusing on the moment you're in right now. And that's the important thing is you have to take yourself out of those stressful moments. You have to breathe. You have to realize, why are you doing all of this? Whether you work crazy hours or you're a mom running around in 50 different directions with your kids, why are you doing this? Taking that 5 minutes can allow you to reflect on that. Like, why am I putting myself in this position where I'm so strung out? Well, maybe looking out the window will get you thinking about, when your kids were born or you graduating and walking off the college stage with your diploma. It makes you just step back and breathe and be one with life for a second. And then you know what? After that, then you get back into the craziness of life. But you can't be in that sense of craziness forever. So it truly is powerful to allow your brain to take that break for 5 minutes. But the last thing that I think is really helpful when you're taking these breaks and something that you can do is just breathing. And breathing is very important because it resets your body. Truly, it helps to reset your nervous system simply by breathing in, holding it, and breathing out. And I'm going to use an example of when I should have done this because yesterday I probably would have saved myself almost going into a panic attack if I would have, before I went to the gym, just taken a minute, breathed, just kind of put behind me the day I just had at work because Mondays can be crazy. After the weekend, when you're picking everything back up, it can be a lot. Mondays are hit or miss. Either it's calm, cool, collected, or it is balls to the walls. There is never an in between. And yesterday was balls to the walls. And with yesterday being balls to the walls, I mean, in just every avenue. I mean, with my day job, with mental mixology stuff. I mean, even my personal life, I'm dealing with stuff. And I go to the gym because the gym is my happy place. It's my safe place. It's the place where I just focus on me. Well, something in my personal life had happened while I was at the gym because I had been in these heightened levels of stress all day. I almost had a panic attack in the middle of the gym. I kid you not. There's a really cute guy behind me that I have a little gym crush and I kid you not, I was in the middle of doing lunges and I had to start breathing. I had to start drinking. I had to take a second because my panic attacks, I normally tear up. I start hyperventilating. Like it can be a scene. So I was like, Alex, de-escalate this, de-escalate this. We are not having a panic attack in front of this cute guy. We're not doing it in front of the whole gym. But I realized in that moment, yes, I did de-escalate the whole panic attack episode. But if I would have taken a second before running to the gym, because that is the thing. It's like there's not enough hours in the day. So it's like, okay, I'm done with work. Now go to the gym. Like, it's like there's no minute to breathe. We don't take a minute to breathe, and we need that moment to breathe, or these panic attack episodes are going to continue to happen. And as I was leaving the gym, I told myself I could have saved the whole ending portion of my gym workout because obviously it kind of crashed and burned once that whole little thing happened. I would have saved myself from that if I would have taken 5 minutes before the gym just to get myself in a good mental state, just to breathe a little and set the mood for my workout. So you're not the only one. It affects a lot of us. So many of us. It's normal. It sucks. It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness of life. But take 5 minutes. Stop and smell the roses. It will save you, especially because stress can affect so many parts of your body. I'm not kidding. Stress can kill you. So you have got to be careful. You have got to be able to manage stress. And one thing for me as a woman that I freak out about is I'm not a doctor. I have not researched this yet, but I have heard that high levels of stress can affect infertility or can cause you to be infertile. And that is the one mission I have, is to really focus on lowering my stress levels because I don't want that to affect me in the long run of life. You owe it to yourself. If you are someone who is struggling with taking a second for yourself, if you have 47 tabs going on in your brain and you can't just get them to shut up, 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes of your day just to breathe. I am going to hit on some other resources because these are tools you can do. But if you want to go see a holistic health person to help you with this, there are places in Sedalia. So if you go to our website, mentalmixology.org, if you go to our mental health resource tab, Soul Vibration and Healing House are two holistic health resources I have gone to. It's on the mental health nonprofit or mental health, Missouri mental health resource tab on our website. Those are two things I have done, only an hour long, and I left with my brain quiet. I've never experienced so much mental peace. And Healing House does the Reiki, which is, it has to do with chakras and energy. And we will have a future episode talking about that. So stay tuned. And then Soul Vibrations is foot zoning. And that basically kind of goes through all the areas of your body as well, showing really it can show how stress affects your body. When I went to go do foot zoning, someone who deals with terrible digestion issues I have for a long history of my life. When I got my foot zoning done, I basically put two and two together with a big reason why I'm having digestive issues is because my body is in a high level of stress so much. My body isn't able to digest the foods that I'm eating as well because I'm so stressed out. Those are the things you don't think about. But going to Healing House, going to Soul Vibrations, like I said, they do Reiki and they also do foot zoning. two amazing things, foot zoning and sound bath. That is combined at Soul Vibrations. But yeah, sound baths, Reiki, foot zoning, yoga, even just mindfulness. These are things that can help your brain shut up because you're not alone. If maybe these 5-minute resets, maybe these little tools for yourself, they don't work as well. Maybe you need a little bit more help. These resources are amazing. And if you don't live in Sedalia, look up closest Reiki, and it's Reiki to me, or what's the closest foot zoning or closest yoga class. And even with yoga, if you don't want to do all the stretching, they do have more like mindful yoga classes where it's not like you bending yourself into a pretzel, but it's more breathing and just like listening to the sounds around you. And like, yes, you do certain movements, but it's a little, there is yoga and there's like more of a mindful alternative to yoga as well that you can try. But we really have to stop with the guilt because you know what? That load of laundry that you are calling yourself a lazy POS because you didn't get to today and you already crossed out everything on your to-do list and that was the only thing you didn't get. You're not lazy. You're not a terrible person. You're not unproductive. You're not a failure because you didn't do a load of laundry. And you know what? Maybe it's a Sunday and you need one day to reset and you didn't feel like doing it that day. It's still going to be there for you. You're not a failure. You need time for yourself to be able to take a break. So do not feel guilty for it. Don't feel lazy for it. You have to remind yourself your body physically needs to do these things to be able to function and to be able to run. And newsflash, but you're not a better person because you're exhausted. You're not. I promise you. Nobody's like, oh, you worked from 8 to 5 all day, you didn't take a break, and then you went to the gym and you cooked dinner for your family, and then you did this, this, and this, you get a gold star. No, ma'am. Nobody's gonna do that. And I know in your brain, you're almost doing that for yourself because you're like, oh, I did so much today. You have to be realistic with yourself on the days where you're not at that capacity. Because that's the other thing that feeds into this is we are not always going to be at this high achieving and performing level 365 days a week. There's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be days where we're really feeling it. There's going to be days where we're not feeling it as much. Got to have a lot of grace for yourself then. But with that, on the days where you are just go, 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 you have to tell yourself that taking a 5-minute break is healthy and it's going to keep you happier and in a better mental place. And it's going to keep you out of that fight and flight. It's going to keep your cortisol levels lower. Cortisol levels too can affect, ladies, bloating. High cortisol can make you bloat. You don't want to be bloated, so focus on your stress levels. That's literally just one thing that can be affected by your stress levels. So truly take a 5-minute power off every day this week. That is my challenge to you. Every single day this week, I want you to find 5 minutes where you take a power off break. Look out the window, go sing and dance in your car, go take a walk, something that lets you reset, that closes out all the tabs in your brain to allow you to start fresh. And like we mentioned, maybe this 5-minute break isn't for you. Maybe you want to go check out a session where someone is working with you on this mindfulness. Check out Healing House, check out Soul Vibration. If you're not in Sedalia, check out Reiki and check out foot zoning for yourself. I promise it is something I can't explain how this works or how both of them work. The foot zoning, there's a lot more science behind the foot zoning than the chakra, but they both work. I can't explain it. All I know is when I left those 2 sessions, it was the first time in so long my brain was just quiet. I didn't have a billion things going on in my head. I didn't have all these to-do lists. I didn't have oh, you're sitting down on the couch, you're lazy, you could be doing this, this, and this right now. It gave me peace, and we all deserve that peace. You will drive yourself insane if you don't get it. So between a 5-minute break, between finding a holistic healer to be able to give you, maybe a 60-minute break so you can go physically schedule time to give yourself a mental reset. Do what is best for you. We are all made and designed differently, so different things work for all of us. But start with the 5-minute break and then go from there. Well, that's all I had today, truly. If you or anybody you know is looking for mental health resources, check out mentalmixology.org. We have a Missouri resource tab, and we also have a national resource tab. But with that, if you or anybody you know is in a mental health crisis, please call or text the number 988. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to your friends and family, be kind to everybody around you. You never know what someone is going through, but we will be back with more episodes next week. Thank you guys for tuning in.